Hey, what's up, everybody? I just finished a very interesting book called Rebel with the Claws Tales and Tips from a Roving Grammarian by Ellen Jovin. So, Ellen Jovin went around the country with her grammar table where she would post up in a public location in each state and offer grammar advice and discussion. Then she wrote this book about the experience. So, that's kind of her shtick. If it sounds to you like she did this just so she could write a book, that's pretty much what I thought. But the book is good, so that's forgivable. Plus, for better or worse, a good shtick is kind of important in today's book market. So then, I wouldn't call myself a grammar nerd, but I'm probably more interested in grammar than the average person. After all, I read this rather long book about grammar. This book was recommended to me by Dr. Byrne, the same guy that recommended the book Remember by Lisa Genova, which I enjoyed and reviewed on this channel. And I have to say, I liked this book, so thanks again to Dr. Byrne. Rebel with a Clause is not an academic textbook, but it is a grammar book. You will learn many important aspects of grammar reading this, but this book also has a major stylistic issue that I did not like. I think many people will have no problem with this, but I didn't like it. And if you're reading this book for learning grammar, the book is like mining for gold. There are some very good nuggets in there, but you have to sift through a lot of trivial and mundane detritus to get to those nuggets. A huge percentage of the material in this book was just the cringingly casual and often completely irrelevant dialogue between the author and the people who visited the grammar table. I'm not kidding when I say it's common for there to be multiple pages in a row that contain no useful information whatsoever. To me, these parts held no enjoyment or use at all, and there is a lot of it. And I really mean a lot. This book was 359 pages, but it easily could have been less than 100. This is just a stylistic preference, though. I felt that though I didn't like that aspect, I could see how other people might find it appealing. The structure of this book was very helpful, too. Each chapter is about a different grammar topic and is listed in the table of contents in a very clear way. For example, chapter 22 is about the semicolon, and chapter 42 is about subject verb agreement. So you're able to go straight to the topic you're interested in. And yes, I just ended a sentence with a preposition. More on that in a minute. The structure of the contents would make it a very good book to have lying around the house, especially if you're going to be doing any writing. If you're a glutton for punishment like me and you just read straight through the entire thing, you may find yourself wishing that you were just reading a regular grammar textbook. But that's just me. You may love this style, and it might even be more effective in helping you to remember the information. I could see how this kind of presentation would be very good for a person who normally wouldn't buy a grammar book. So it would make a very good gift or a book to leave in a lobby or a bathroom or on a coffee table. Everybody knows at least one person for whom grammar is of central importance. I feel like I learned a lot from this book. Not only was it a very good refresher, but I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know and some things that I was taught incorrectly. For instance, did you know that it's perfectly acceptable to end a sentence with a preposition? This was just one tidbit that I was unaware of, and the book contains 49 short chapters, almost all of which contain useful grammar knowledge. So, however you come to read this book, I think you'll find it worth your time. Even if you're on top of your grammar game already, a couple of themes with this book are that some of the ideas in the grammar world may be outdated or erroneously perpetrated through time. Another theme which I didn't like was that often when discussing conflicting ideas in grammar, the author's advice is to simply avoid certain grammatical situations rather than just outright telling us which way is correct and why. That did bother me a couple of times, but usually she will tell the reader which is the correct usage, even if you do have to read through a bunch of unimportant filler to get to the useful information. So, my final thoughts on this book, while it has some problems for me and my literary preferences, overall I did like it. I'm really glad I read it, and I would recommend it regardless of your current grammar knowledge. So that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Happy holiday, and go check out Rebel with a Clause by Ellen Jovin.